Hi, good afternoon. This video is just going to be a sort of unboxing, build, painting review of the Perry Medieval Cottage plastic kit. I'm going to put it together. It's going to be a bit of a time lapse, and then at the end I'm just going to show you how it looks when it's all set up. So let's get started. Okay, when you open this up, you're going to have 3 sprues inside. The first one is a set of wattle fencing, and that's going to make about 2.5 foot, I think it said on the box. So I'm just going to put that to one side at the moment because we're going to be focusing on the building itself. The next sprue is the actual structure of the building, so that's the walls, the sides, and also the panels here for the little lean-to. There's also a chimney pot if you want to add that on for sort of buildings that are from about 1600 onwards, so I'm going to be ignoring that. And then the final sprue is the roof, so 2 parts for the main cottage, the peak of the roof there, and then we've got doors and for the lean-to. So we're just going to get on. I'm going to clip them out, so I'm going to focus on the building itself, and we'll get it stuck together and see what it looks like. Okay, so everything stuck together. Didn't really have any problems. Some bits were a little bit flimsy and a little bit awkward, so for the roof I used super glue to keep that down because it was just a bit awkward to wait for the polystyrene cement plastic glue to set. Otherwise, no, it's a simple build, and I'm looking forward to painting it. So I've gone ahead and undercoated everything, just black for the structure of the house, the little sort of wood shed. I might actually put some sort of pre-cut logs or something in there, and the fencing as well. I've all got that ready to go. And then I remembered I had a can of Dunkelgelb spray from when I was painting some German armour for Flames of War a few years ago, and I haven't used it for a long time, so I thought I'd use that for the thatched roof. And I'm going to leave this detachable so I can put units inside the building. That's just going to fit on like that. So I'm just going to get set up and we'll start. Right, well that's all of the basic work finished, and just letting it dry. So you can probably see I used a fairly thick emulsion paint that I just got from a local hardware kind of homeware shop. And I use that for things like render, so I'm not using really expensive paints. That pot cost £1. And you can just play around with them a bit. They come out quite thick, and I've always found they look like render quite well. So I put that on, and then I used washes in glazes, and I smeared it with my thumb just to create the sort of the weathering and worn effect. And I don't mind too much if it goes over some of the timbers, because it looks like the render is like splashed onto it. And we finished the roof, and it's onto there. So I'm just going to wait for this all to dry. I'm going to finish the fencing, and we'll have a final look. Right, and here we are. Everything is dry. I finished the fencing, and I finished the little woodshed, and let's have a look at it. So the building itself, as you saw, really easy to put together, and I've just given it a very straightforward paint scheme. The doors are actually hinged, if you like that, so you can actually have them open and closing. And I've left the roof removable, so if necessary I can put models and units inside. There we go. So lots of dry brushing, lots of sort of staining on the render just to give it that look for medieval period. And this house is suitable for, well, I suppose it's suitable for anything sort of medieval from about 1200 onwards. Would be brilliant in fantasy as well. Could use that. Could you see that in sort of Lord of the Rings, sort of Rohan house or something. My only criticism that I can think of when it comes to it is that I did find that some of the recess details on the thatch roof were quite shallow, but it was a very minor thing and it was very easy to solve. It just involved just a little bit more dry brushing just to bring out the texture, but let's say very minor criticism. We have the little wood pile, and I've just stuck some logs in there just so that'll fit in. And the fencing, and there's not really a whole lot to say about this. It's a wattle fencing, so I've just very simply given this an undercoat. I've used one of the contrast paint wildwood, and then I've dry brushed it, and then just on these pieces here I've just picked out the twine or whatever it's called, just for in a bit more detail. So I hope you guys like it. I'm really pleased with it. It was going to be making an appearance in our upcoming battles. I will leave it with a few photos. I'll set it up, put some models with it, and show you how to look on the battlefield.